The storm, which was hardly appreciated by those who inhabited the city of Sigane and who peopled the royal chateau, was welcomed. It was said only ever by the mad and the suicidal. Though none might well have described their king to his face as such, more than one man had had the passing thought that such words could well have described him. He was by no means of the quality of character of his late father, Mile Martin. He was nonetheless a strong and talented man, or so he liked to think himself. He paced the length and breadth of the carpeted stone floor, his hands held together behind his back, his wild mane flying here and there as did his beard. Between them and his royal robes and cloak swishing and swirling about his feet, he bore a strong resemblance to a caged lion, as he danced the dance of all anxious rulers since the dawn of time.
Well, where in the blazes is that wretch? Alkin, I knew I should have gone down to the pier myself.
Achaeus complained, with the sort of zeal of a man well adapted to the art, if one could call it such, of fussing. Seated to one side, in a chair by the open window space, eyes on the distant horizon, Beniot MacAskill studied his liege laird with a complacent eye.
Calm thyself, sire. This is but a small matter. No need to strain yourself over so small a matter.
How can speak so lightly of so important a matter as this one?
Achaeus asked plaintively.
Because I am not simple nor blind, your grace. You selected the best possible men for the task, and it has been accomplished. What possible menace could possibly tear the glass away from thy grasp?
Beniot queried dryly of the other man, a single dark brow rising almost to his hairline. A dark-haired man with a streak of gray ran through them. He was clean-shaven where the king was bearded, and was powerful where the other man had begun to give way to obesity. There was more to the air of malice and danger that surrounded the tall clergyman than the physical.
I suppose, yet I worry still that this may cause Strawthorn into action,
said Achaeus quietly.
You are certain he will not attempt to join those forces opposed to me in Bardock? That he will agree to all our demands and help us as we march against Catil?
Yes. Now calm thyself. My king,
Beniot murmured with all the honeyed smoothness of a serpent, as he almost swayed from side to side once he stood up to his full height.
Lest you worry yourself into an early grave. There is no reason for this anxiety, this apprehension that does little more than while away the hours of your most royal person.
Achaeus might have said more, but running a hand through his auburn mane, which ran more wildly than how most Southron kings might have worn it. Ever conscious of his royal status, he paused to consider the assurances of his favorite, and conceded that he had to be right. It was, after all, thanks solely to the counsel of Beniot that he had claimed the throne. He was distracted from answering by the arrival and announcement of the princess. Pleased, he turned to bark out,
Enter, dog, and be quick about it, unless you wish to continue to test my patience.
The guard in question did as commanded, announcing the princess as he set foot into the throne room. Eakin nudged her forward with a shove.
The Princess Isla, my laird.
Princess Isla, we have long expected you,
Achaeus said with visible satisfaction.
It has been too long.
Well over 20 years.
She returned ungraciously.
And not long enough.
Oh, come now, you could at least stand to comport yourself in a manner befitting a lady and princess of the realm.
Achaeus teased, wishing to enjoy his victory over her, ere he had a message sent south, forcing her fiancé to submit to him.
I couldn't say much the same to you,
she retorted with continued displeasure. Her remark drew a stifled guffaw from several of the Nordic sellswords and guards, Eakin included. Even Beniot seemed to derive some measure of amusement from her words, at the king's expense, so that the monarch reddened from his neck all the way to the tip of his ears.
Insolent wench,
Achaeus bellowed furiously, angered by her tone and words. The princess reared back as several of the guards stared on in disconcertment, discomfited to see their liege laird strike his cousin over so minor an injury. None, though, were quite so displeased as Einar. One did not simply strike a woman, in his view, not without reason, that is.
Away with her and have a man sent south to Strawthorn to carry my terms to the knave,
Achaeus growled, face still red with anger and humiliation at the barbed tongue of his cousin.
I have already seen to the matter of putting together your conditions, and if you may spare Aachen himself, I can think of no finer a man to have delivered the letter to Kenneth of Strawthorn.
Beniot declared smoothly, once again seeming to sway from side to side as he laid a calming hand upon the upper arm of the monarch. Staring at the two of them with quiet consternation, Einar, however, remained quiet, as did the other Northmen. Eakin, visibly uncomfortable, sought to duck out of this particular honor.
I should prefer, sire, if it might be otherwise.
And why should your preferences prove at all of any real import to me?
The High King barked back incredulously.
Please, sire. I do not wish to seem unreasonable. It is merely that this is a matter of the utmost importance. All know that Akin is thy finest warrior, and that there are none others that have earned your trust, as he has, on account of his saving your life when the usurper Rinyen attempted to claim it. This is why it might be best to send him south.
Beniot said in tones that could have coaxed a heron from its branch. Achaeus hesitated. It was true that Beniot's counsel had never failed him in the past. However, in the time that he had been king, there had been many an attempt to kill him and take his crown, with each of these efforts having been thwarted by Akin. This was the reason for which Achaeus disliked the notion of the head of his guards being sent away from his side. Achaeus looked from guardsman to advisor and back again, only to give a shallow nod to the latter.
Oh, very well. If such is to be the case, he should leave at once.
As always, your wisdom astounds me, sire.
Beniot replied gratefully. Akin reluctantly acquiesced.
If such is your wish, your grace, I think it appropriate for me to nominate one to guard you in my stead while I am away.
Who do you have in mind?
Achaeus asked distractedly, eyes on his cousin, as she was made to sit down at a nearby table to pen the letter.
I had thought Einar might be suitable.
Akin suggested, with a significant glance at the Norseman currently staring in the same direction as the king.
What, me?
Einar asked, surprised.
You, if only for a fortnight.
Snapped Akin impatiently. The king approved the temporary appointment at once, no longer really paying them much mind as he lost interest in them. Beniot studied the exchange and the Northman with a dark, suspicious gaze, even as he instructed Isla on the letter she was to write to her intended.